where coffee is tested to be mycotoxin free, like a bulletproof or something like that. Bile movers that we have on the planet. So it's going to be very important if you've been made sick from mold and you're craving coffee and you're ingesting a lot. So why do we crave coffee when you're sick from mold? Bile. Because that's one of our biggest, it's one of those on the list of high rate of mycotoxin contamination.
Coffee is the fuel of modern life. It wakes you up, keeps you going, and for many people, it's the best part of the day. But what if that steaming cup of comfort is quietly damaging your health? Not all coffee is created equal, and some popular brands may be hiding dangerous secrets, like mold toxins, chemical residues, or deceptive labeling. While companies advertise freshness, quality, and origin, what you're actually sipping might be far less pure. In fact, some coffee could be delivering a daily dose of mold, pesticides, or even low-grade filler beans, without you ever realizing it. The issue isn't always taste or cost. It's what goes unnoticed, what's growing on the beans, how they're processed, and what corners get cut in mass production. Behind the smooth packaging and attractive slogans lie health risks most people never consider. Let's take a closer look at 5 popular coffee brands that might be doing more harm than good. Imagine walking into your kitchen, still groggy, and pressing the brew button. You don't think twice. It's part of your routine. But inside that cup could be hidden mold toxins, known as mycotoxins, that develop when coffee beans are stored improperly or not roasted correctly. One of the worst offenders in this space is pre-ground, mass-produced coffee, particularly from brands that ship and store beans for long periods before roasting. Mycotoxins thrive in damp, warm environments, exactly the conditions many large-scale storage facilities provide. Studies have found that certain coffee brands routinely test positive for these harmful toxins, which can cause fatigue, headaches, brain fog, and in large doses, even liver damage. What's more, the label 100% Arabica doesn't always mean what you think. Arabica is generally considered a higher quality bean than Robusta, smoother in flavor and lower in caffeine. But some companies use low-grade Arabica or mix in defect-heavy batches while still claiming purity. You could be paying for premium but drinking substandard coffee loaded with acrylamide, a chemical formed during roasting that's considered a probable carcinogen. In some cases, these levels far exceed what's considered safe by international food agencies. And the worst part, there's no clear way to tell from the packaging. Let's talk about pesticides. Coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed crops in the world. Without organic certification, you can bet that your favorite brand uses beans grown with synthetic fertilizers, herbicides, and insecticides. These chemicals can remain as residues even after roasting, and if the beans come from countries with lax environmental standards, the risk multiplies. Some big-name coffee producers source beans from plantations that use chemicals banned in the US or EU. You wouldn't knowingly pour pesticides into your morning brew, but that might be exactly what's happening. The effects can add up over time, especially for daily drinkers. Now picture this. You walk into your favorite grocery store and pick up a bright canister of ground coffee. It smells great, the price is right, and the brand is familiar. But what you don't see is the blend itself. Many popular brands mix beans from multiple countries, Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, and others, into a single product. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it becomes a problem when quality control is lacking. Beans of varying ages, moisture levels, and fermentation histories are dumped together, roasted in bulk, and ground down into a uniform blend. It masks defects, but it doesn't eliminate them. In fact, it could concentrate issues like mold, bacteria, and off flavors from poorly handled batches. And because the origin is hidden behind house blend or breakfast roast, you never really know what you're drinking. Even decaf coffee isn't safe. Most people assume decaf just means less caffeine, but the process to remove caffeine can involve harmful solvents like methylene chloride, a chemical paint stripper, and potential carcinogen. While US law allows trace amounts, repeated exposure, even at low levels, has raised health concerns. Safer methods like Swiss water or CO2 processing exist, but they're more expensive. So many budget brands stick to chemical solvents. The irony, people often switch to decaf for health reasons, only to unknowingly consume something more harmful than caffeine itself. Let's get into specifics. One well-known brand has been around for over a century and is a staple in countless American households. But tests have repeatedly found this brand's coffee to contain high levels of acrylamide and mold toxins. Its mass production model, sourcing beans from dozens of suppliers, long shipping times, bulk roasting, makes it difficult to control for contamination. Another household brand, praised for its strong brew and affordability, often ranks low in bean quality. Experts have noted the use of over-roasted or burnt beans, which not only impact flavor, but can increase toxin levels and irritate the digestive system. For sensitive individuals, it can mean acid reflux, jitteriness, or a sharp crash after consumption. One popular convenience store brand sells small packets of instant coffee with flashy labels and bold claims. But these packets are often made from Robusta beans, a cheaper, more bitter cousin of Arabica, with little regulation on how the beans were treated or stored. Independent lab tests have shown these packets contain trace levels of heavy metals and mold toxins. And because they're instant, they're processed even more aggressively than regular beans, removing many of the natural oils and antioxidants that make coffee beneficial in the first place. Then there's the big box grocery store favorite that promotes mountain-grown coffee at a budget price. It sounds premium, but the reality is far different. The beans are often sourced from low-altitude farms using artificial ripening methods, meaning they don't develop the complex flavors or nutrient profile of true high-altitude beans. Worse, they're often dried on dirt patios next to livestock or other contaminants, then stored in warehouses without proper ventilation. It's a breeding ground for mold and bacteria. By the time it reaches your cup, the mountain-grown label is more marketing than truth. And finally, one of the fastest-growing brands in the specialty market advertises its coffee as high performance and ideal for athletes and biohackers. But when lab-tested, their beans showed high levels of ochratoxin A dangerous mycotoxin linked to kidney disease. The brand claims its beans are lab-tested, but independent reviews suggest otherwise. Some even reported feeling worse after drinking this coffee, more jittery, anxious, or fatigued. Despite the clean branding, it's a harsh reminder that slick packaging and buzzwords don't always equal safety. So what can you do to protect yourself? First, look for brands that use third-party lab testing for mold and mycotoxins and are willing to share the results. Transparency is rare in the coffee world, but some smaller roasters make it a selling point. Second, buy whole beans instead of ground. Grinding increases surface area, which speeds up oxidation and makes it easier for toxins to develop. Third, prioritize organic certification and fair trade labeling. While not perfect, they're signs the brand at least cares about sourcing and chemical exposure. And finally, trust your body. If a certain coffee makes you feel anxious, dizzy, or nauseous, it might not be the caffeine. It could be what's hiding in the bean. Coffee has incredible health benefits when it's clean and well-sourced. It's packed with antioxidants, improves mental clarity, and may even protect against some diseases. But poor quality coffee does the opposite. It adds stress to your system, introduces foreign chemicals, and can erode your health one sip at a time. For most people, the danger isn't obvious. It's not an allergic reaction or a hospital trip. It's chronic fatigue you can't explain, brain fog that hits after lunch, digestive issues you brush off. That's why it's so insidious. The solution isn't quitting coffee, it's upgrading it. Seek out local roasters, ask questions, and don't fall for the cheapest option just because it's easy. The cup of coffee you drink every day becomes part of you. It affects your mood, your sleep, your hormones, and your gut. Choose wisely and it can be a powerful ally. Choose poorly and it becomes a slow drip of harm. Unfortunately, many of the most popular brands fall into the second category. Not because they intend to harm, but because they prioritize profit, volume, and shelf life over quality and safety. And the next time you reach for your morning brew, ask yourself, do you know where it came from, how it was processed, or what might be lurking inside? If not, it might be time to switch. Not all coffee is dangerous, but enough of it is to warrant caution. The good news is, once you find a clean source, the difference is noticeable. You'll feel better, think clearer, and maybe even fall in love with coffee all over again, for the right reasons this time.